So now we're going to talk about hyperbolas. Hyperbola will be if you take a vertical cross section of a double cone and you'll end up with what appears to be but is not exactly a parabola looking up and a parabola looking down. So again, the hyperbolas are their own shape. They have a little bit more of a V shape than the U shape of a parabola, but we're going to look at the equations and then how to graph them. So with hyperbolas, we are going to stick to centers at the origin. We're not going to talk about any hyperbolas that have a center off the origin for what we need to do for this class. So you won't see x and y in parentheses at all. So the center will always be 0, 0. What you'll need when you graph a hyperbola is you'll need vertices for, again, kind of like that parabola, having that vertex. You'll need those, but the other thing you'll need is asymptotes. And what that does is that gives your hyperbola some shape and some guidance of where it needs to stay. So the asymptotes are going to be y equals b divided by ax, and y equals negative b divided by ax. Those lines are going to be dotted lines, they'll be asymptotes, and they will be what your hyperbola needs to stay close to and be approaching. The b and the a, you'll get exactly how you got your b and a values with your ellipse. A squared is underneath the x squared, so you'll take the square root of that number under the x squared, and b squared is underneath the y squared. Vertices, if your x term is first, and you can compare it to here where the y term is first. If the x term is first, that a value is going to determine your vertices, and your vertices will be a0 and negative a0. So x squared, so if x squared term is first, use a for vertices. Okay, now we'll look down here. The center's still 0, 0. The asymptotes are the same. Y equals b divided by ax, and y equals negative b divided by ax. But if the y squared term is first, your b value will determine your vertices. Because b is underneath a y, it's going to be a y value. So your vertices will be 0b and 0 negative b. If y squared is first, use b for vertices. And because a is underneath the x, it's an x coordinate. And because b is underneath the y, it's a y coordinate. I'll go through how to do an example on the back.